Hi, I'm Danny with BuyRadarDetectors.com. Here today with Bob Rosagna. Bob is the president and head of product development with Vail Corporation. Bob, thank you for joining us again, stopping in on your way back up from Florida.
It's been a real pleasure, and it's funny. This is April, late April, basically, 2018, and 3 days ago I was scuba diving in the Keys, and it was in the mid-80s. And now I'm in South Carolina, which is where BuyRadar Detectors is based out of.
It's essentially snowing today.
Y'all woke up and it was 29 degrees today?
29 degrees when I woke up this morning.
It's crazy. So 3 days ago I'm scuba diving, and later today we're going to go ice fishing. Go figure. So much for global warming.
I want more global warming. I'll take it.
That would be great.
Please.
So anyway, no, it's great to be back here. And, I think I've always thought of you as one of the greatest guys in this industry, and your organization as well. So I'm just really happy to be back here.
Well, we appreciate your time very much.
Well, likewise.
And in this video, we're going to talk about the updates that Bob has made to the Vail product over the last couple of years. I know you've made some pretty impressive changes. Why don't you tell us about it?
Sure. One of the things we do, and we've been developing this product's been on the market now since, I think, 2004. So it's been about, I can't believe 14 years it goes by so quickly. And we started with the first public version, I think was G2, I think. Then we skipped to G4, G3, we never really released it to public. And now we're into G5. And now, I think this version is G5.6. And basically what we do is to continue to evolve the product to, one, make it easier to apply. Lighter, that's always what we strive to do, make the product less noticeable, relative to its absorption capability, which is what Vail does. Obviously, it absorbs the police laser. And we've also expanded or widened the range, wavelengths of absorption for anti-photo type
You added
scenarios.
IR defense, which is something that wasn't originally in the product.
Yeah, we were more focused on the 904 nanometer wavelength near infrared for laser, but as we've got IO photo enforcement, red light cameras that are IR, the automatic license plate recognition systems that can also run in IR, we were always trying to make that a lighter, and more absorptive in those ranges, which can be as low as 700 nanometers, upwards of almost to 1,000 nanometers. So we've widened the absorption spectrum.
Well, it was a great product in 2004, and it's only gotten better. I mean, we continually tell our customers that it's a perfect complement to a radar detector, because when police are using laser, it's a radar detector is not enough. You need something like Laser Vail to give you more time.
That's correct. And one of the things that I think is really nice about the product is that with some of these newer laser guns, which I think we're going to show later, the Stalker, the Dragon Eye Compact have anti-jamming technology, and they continually evolve pretty quickly with updates to defeat laser jammers. So when you buy a laser jammer, you really don't know if all those guns are covered. And the thing with a laser jammer, if it doesn't, if it's not effective against jamming, or the anti-jamming software, you get instant punch through. So it doesn't matter what distance they target you with. If they target you at 2,000 feet, which they do regularly, you'll get instant punch through. And then sometimes you won't even get a warning that you're being targeted. So you'll be completely silent.
So police are using a very up-to-date laser gun, then even a laser jammer may not be enough. You need something like Laser Vail in addition to that.
Yeah, we always make the case for a defense in depth scenario, so you don't rely on any one countermeasure. So we recommend a good radar detector / laser detector. If you can drive with a laser jammer, now I think there's 11 states where it's banned. If you can afford to put that kind of money into it, we still recommend a Vail solution in those scenarios. Now, to be clear, Vail is never designed to give you like a jam-to-gun performance. It can happen every once in a while, depending on the gun and the scenarios. But you will generally always get some punch through. But the idea, the design of Vail is really meant to buy you reaction time. You typically only need about 5 seconds, 3 seconds to react to an alert to slow down. So if you're going 15 over, 85 and a 70, let's say, generally police give you 10 over, would you say, on the
Right.
highway?
Sure.
So all you just need is a little bit of that reaction time to slow down and get you into that realm. And, you know, a lot of people talk about 1,000-foot targeting range as a result of a New Jersey, not to get too much in the weeds here, when laser first got introduced, New Jersey limited 1,000 feet targeting, but the reality is most states, almost every state you'll drive, they oftentimes will target 2,000 feet. And that's really where laser guns are the most lethal, because at 2,000 feet, 1,500, 2,000 feet, you don't even see the police officer. If you're 500 feet, 600 feet, you're going to likely see the officer.
Yeah, that's very close. You're already up on him.
Correct. And if you're going 70, you're going 85 feet per second. You know, three or 4 seconds. If you think about it in terms of time, a 500 or 600 foot targeting is almost, extremely close.
So if Vail reduces the range of the laser gun, essentially from the time you get targeted initially at 2,000 feet up until maybe 1,000 feet, 500 feet, they're not going to be able to get your speed. And during that time, your radar detector is going to be going off. You're going to have a laser alert. You're going to be able to slow down. And by the time they get your speed, that speed is going to show the speed limit.
Correct. And what the nice thing about also what Vail does, it doesn't throw a jam code. And most of these guns that have anti-jamming technology actually can detect that they're being jammed. That's something else. So you don't want that.
Now, what are the ramifications of that? If a laser gun shows it's being jammed, what are is that illegal? Can they?
Well, in most states, I mean, in those 11 where they're banned,
it can be a big problem.
Yeah, I think so. And then in other states, they could consider that active interference. So you likely are going to get
So it's a
pulled
reason
over.
to pull you over.
I think so. And then they could find secondary violations, so to speak. So look, you want to be less noticeable. You want to blend in. One of the couple of other things about laser jammers, and look, I use them. I've used them in the past. They have a purpose. But some of the tests that you've seen conducted by some of these testing groups really don't test, even Vail, in the real world how guns are targeted. The newer laser guns are smaller, and you'll see them later as we do them. These guys use tripod mounting. You'll never see a police officer today do a tripod shot. That was only in the old days, 10, 12 years ago. So most officers are designed to target right within the car, just like a radar gun.
Yeah.
The window's down and they are targeting. Or in cases they may lean against the car or steady it a little bit, but you're still going to have movement in that scenarios. You know what I'm saying? So, I think the other thing that laser jammers, these tests don't show, is that actually laser jammers' performance will decrease substantially if you're off angle, you're coming down a bridge where the heads can't reflect back. Or another one that's not really published or talked about much is if you're in a series of other cars in traffic. Some laser jammers will get their return signal back from other cars that are reflected around them, and that'll confuse the pulse rates. That's something that's not shown or discussed in closed tests. And I was at actually one test a couple of years ago that was performed by a group that they excluded results from certain guns. A Dragon Eye they dropped. There was a dip in the road. The heads went off angle. Instant punch through. And those things are not completely discussed. So, laser jammers are not foolproof, which is why we always recommend a defense in depth.
Well, we've been in this industry for a long time, and I've definitely heard of a lot of tests. You have to be skeptical of some of the tests and the results that you see. You want to know who's doing that and are they trustworthy? And
right.
There's just a lot of questions.
And if they have agendas or connected, some of them have financial ties to anyway, it is what it is.
All right, Bob. Well, please stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Check for our other videos. We'll be talking about the laser guns, like you mentioned, Bob.
Yes.
I very much appreciate the update on Laser Vail. If you want more information on Laser Vail, please check our website at buyradardetectors.com. We have plenty of information, and you can purchase it as well.
Good seeing you. It's great.
Absolutely, Bob.
Take care of yourself.